Well, here I am, making another test recording. I've done several test recordings because I keep messing up some setting or other. We'll see if this time is the right one. Been trying out different settings, been trying out different mic setups. We'll see if this one's any good. I don't really have a plan for what I want to do. We'll see as we go. For now we're on 2nd Street heading up to Market Street. And there we'll head east towards the ferry building. And if I fancy it, I might go north on Battery Street. A little blast from the oats. My usual mistake tends to be I try to set exposure compensation to -2 because that makes it look a bit more like reality. And then it turns out I set it to +2 and the camera happily trots along. It makes a very, very bright, very bright video, which I can change the, well, I think I can change the brightness. I'm not very good at it. The problem is it changes how every light looks. I'm not sure why I'm waiting here. Alright, we're just gonna go through. Yeah, it makes every light blow out, which, I don't know, aesthetically I just don't like how it looks. Every light looks like it's taking up the entire screen. Every car headlight also blows out. And that's just not what things look like. Alright. So heading north on Battery Street, which is one of San Francisco's few bike paths that are two-way when the street isn't. I think we should have more of those. It's very helpful for getting around and way less confusing. Like, I went to Seattle a few months ago and they have basically every one of their streets is a one-way street that's got like one lane or something. Not one lane, sorry, multiple lanes of car traffic. So like 3 lanes or whatever plus parking, and it's all in one direction. And so they add a bike lane to each one of these, give or take. And so you get a network of bike lanes that go one way. And if you get lost a little bit, because you don't know which street goes which way, you can't. You gotta use some kind of sat nav just guide you around the entire time, which, well, I don't know, it's a very distracting device, I would imagine. And you don't want to be distracted. I think my front light is warning me that it's going to give up the contacts on the fritz, and now it's flashing a specific color at the top. Whoops. That's one thing that really bothers me about this bike light. I just can't tell what it's trying to tell me. Because you see, I'm colorblind. So when it tells me something is green or red, I'm like, yep, that's one of those two colors. Which one, I do not know. One thing we're not doing tonight is going all the way up there. That's for sure. I don't actually know which street I'm on. But anyhow, okay. So eventually I got, I had got a need for a new backlight because the ones I had were, the battery was just dying out in, 30 minutes or something. And I got this one from a company called Night Rider, and they had a genius idea of using red and blue as their battery indicator colors. Never got confused again. So it'd be nice if more companies did this, or if you could get a front light from them, honestly. Orange? Okay. Speaking of color blindness and traffic lights, people sometimes ask if traffic lights get confusing between the green and the red there, but they're totally different brightnesses in the first place, and also you can just recognize the shape when you're in the day at least. You can recognize that it's the top light, the bottom light. It's really no problem. And that's true in a country where they lay out vertically, which is not the case everywhere. And apparently, San Francisco is going to get one spot where they set it up horizontally. I don't know the exact details of why, just the general situation. For those familiar with the geography here, it's on 13th Street in Division. Another cross street, by the way, is just the continuation of one another. That's the street that exists underneath a stretch of highway that's set up as an overpass, like going directly over the street for its duration. Apparently they want to add more traffic lights there or move them or something, and they realize, oh, there's not going to be enough room, so we have to flatten it up a little bit if we're going to put it on top of traffic lanes. So they did. So yeah, I don't know, I might take a look at what it's like there. They haven't done the install yet, there's just still I think they were dealing with community feedback at this time. But I should check it out, maybe do a before and after comparison, even though the place is honestly scary to ride on, which is one of the reasons they're working on it. Sending me on off point. Yeah, no one's here, so I'm not gonna bother anyone by being on the pavement. Let's get on there. Okay, we'll probably do a very classic loop of mine, which is go to Fisherman's Wharf and then go back. That's where my autopilot is taking me. Yeah, right now it's 1 a.m. Not a lot of tourists left. In case you don't know, this is tourist central here. The place is usually packed. Let's see if I can get a shot of the stretch. Yeah, I mean, you can only see a third of it. I think the ticketing agent was slightly upset that everyone's riding on sidewalks. Like, bloody hell. Just pink the gutter or something on the road, and I wouldn't have to do this. Alright. Okay, last time I was here there was a cruise ship docked, and then it vanished. Alright, I'm gonna go back on the roadway. Problem is, people drive like absolute potatoes here. They're just like, oh, there's someone on a bike here, I gotta overtake them. And we catch them in the same red light again. Stuck behind another car or some nonsense. Meanwhile, they're just endangering my life for no damn reason. Well, I can smell some bread dough here. Preparing tomorrow's meal. Okay, we kinda did it. Unfortunately, for a good deed, we'll get a car on our ass probably. Oh well. Yeah, right on cue. Alright, it's probably also a pedestrian scramble next. Alright, well, that kind of counts as us. Alright, what will they do? Oh, they're accelerating, I think. Well, they crossed the double yellow. They're itching to do it. Alright. Yeah, still going. Well, we're going the same speed as another car. And there's still on B2B ads in the middle of tourist town. I suppose it's maybe a business conference somewhere. Alright, guess we'll make a stop at Aquatic Park. Oh. Oh, the filming as well, probably. Alright. Didn't know there was a sign that said mustard under the Ghirardelli sign. I probably can't see much in the bay. Oh yeah, this counts as the bay. There's a ship there, or barge of some sort. No, that's just the harbor. Suppose I could go there. I don't really know it that well, so if my light gives out, so maybe not tonight. This is nice. Suppose we can make it to another beach and end there. Again, I say this as if that's completely unplanned, but that's one of my choice endpoints for this. Alright, I'm not gonna bother anyone. We'll go to Van Ness over there. Look at the blocked tunnel. I keep thinking those bins are someone crushed over. Maybe we'll climb Van Ness a little bit until the next street. I won't go up Polk or anything, probably. You know me and plans. Alright. So, yeah, there's the old Muni tunnel, E-line. That went to the marina. Yeah, it's a one-track tunnel, so it's not super usable with the transit you'd expect these days, but and a 30 doubles a couple streets up. Alright. Okay, hopefully I don't regret this climb. Let's see. Alright. I feel relatively energetic. If you wonder what these markings on the ground are, it's telling bus operators what to do with the trolley wires. Sorry, you see at the top there, they have a little joystick or something to control them. And yeah, intersections like this one where they separate into multiple directions, they have to decide where it goes. So that helps them remind them, depending on which route they're running, of what to do in case they get lost in the south. And that was a nice back thing for a split second. That's rubbish again. There was a bus stop immediately after another bus stop. If you wonder why the buses are slow, that's why. That's nice. You can see the Bay Bridge in the distance there. Ah, fuck, we have to brake. You know what? There's so little traffic, I'm a little bit confident enough to go on Columbus here. Go through North Beach and Chinatown. Let's see what it's like at night. Yeah, nightlife there kind of stops at 10, doesn't it? Maybe? Which areas of the city is it? Oh, I'm not allowed to turn right. I'm done. Ooh. Sorry about that noise. Alright, we'll take Stockton. You can also see Coit Tower over there on the left, above the mural there. Everyone's waiting. Alright. Alright, that's cool. I'll take a sip of water. Provided I didn't close my bag. If I did, see if I can fix that. Yeah, I lost it. Oh, there it is. There's the zipper. Alright, next time. Alright, that's us. I forgot about this section. I'm gonna go parallel to some tracks. Which is never particularly fun on a bicycle. Can you put on a blinker and respect priorities, mate? Fucking hell. Alright. How much more time do we have to make? Surely not that much, right? I haven't made a mistake, right? Well, isn't this fun? Dead ahead is Transamerica Pyramid. It's got a very faint light show at the top. I don't know if it's intentionally faint or if they're just... I don't know. Oh, that was a nice little climb. Okay. it does. Well. Okay, we got a bit of a climb ahead. Nothing too steep. I did say about the bottle though, didn't I? And then I forgot. I can get space to pass here. The one that came first. All right. Yeah, well. This climb is slightly hampered by, well, being stopped at every light. Oh, that's good. They got a little clouds on the pedestrian zebra crossing. Ooh. Alright. Not long until it's downhill. All good. Alright. For taking the bus, I'll be waiting 17 minutes. Alright. There's our chance. Alright, and this is where we reserved the bus lane to make it a little bit harder to get crushed. Ah yes, nice pedestrian in front of us. I don't think there's a taxi in front of us either. Anyhow. Yay. Scissor right on red is just a menace. I'll take this to cross and stop there. Oh, no moisture, thank you. Oh. My thoughts can't help but go, what will go wrong this recording? I will see. I'm relatively confident. I have to take the rails here, even though they're wet. Oh, this is scary. Blech. Alright, okay, I can't be stuck on here because there's plenty of grates the wrong way around and guide the wheels. There we go. Oh, it's our turn, isn't it? Okay. Alright. Hey, so we're back where we started on Market. But the objective is still to land at the beach. So that's what we're gonna do. Front light hasn't flashed again. I assume that's good news. It really might just be that the circuits are busted on it. I already had to resolder it once because the contacts between the main board and the circuit board with the actual light, the front light, the solder got separated. Some questionable construction from that manufacturer. He had like two boards folded together as a T like this, and because you plug in the USB port where my watch is, it kind of pushes the whole system along while the bottom of the light is stuck. Which means over many plug-unplug cycles, the solder just separates from the board. So I think that may be more to do with a mistake during soldering, like not properly binding solder to both boards. I don't know. I'm sure a better solderer would have opinions on that. Okay, this light just got a pedestrian crosswalk basically, so we're gonna take it. It also blocks buses from making it to this next green light on time. It's bloody awful. You should just wind back the timing on it by a few seconds. this one I'm legally allowed to go, well, before that light went green, but it's not completely safe. So like, this can be green on the right back there, but also green on the motor vehicles crossing in from the left. There's a potential conflict point since there's no back lane. Alright, we are almost back to the waterfront. I'm gonna swing by my favorite viewpoint and then we'll head to the beach. This thing is great, the ditcher in the bike lane, and there are these scooters telling them not to be on the sidewalk. Alright. Okay, this one is bullshit as well. Cool. Oh, sobriety check ahead. Hope I haven't drank too many since I stopped drinking a few years ago. Yeah, it's kind of nuts. I didn't know we had a sign for this, first of all. But also they just signal it with a sign, with the siren lights. It's not how I expected this to be. But overall, the infrastructure in this country is insane. We expect people to go to the bar, and then they've got no way to go home except drive. How is that supposed to work? It's all about personal responsibility, I'm sure. There's a nice haze behind Treasure Island over there in the distance. Makes out the outline of, well, a couple buildings. Okay, bridge, obviously. They've restored some of the lights that they took off for setting up the spectacular lights that hopefully will turn back on this year. I'll be sure to photograph that. And there's the ferry building here. And there's Salesforce Tower at the back that's just dark. So the light show does go off at some point, or turn off rather. Alright, let's head out. There's a couple with their bikes there. Pretty cute. Go over here. Next point of worry is that the camera perhaps oriented itself up for some reason, or to the side. neither is the case. So, lucky me. Alright, well, I get a stoplight if I'm in a bike lane, or I could go on Bay Trail and not have a stoplight. So we'll just do that since nobody's going to be bothered by it. Oh, there's a bird on the side of Pier 14. I don't think I've captured it. It looked like it was looking at the water, looking for its next prey, no doubt. It's Port of Oakland in the distance there with all the lights. And you can see a crane next to that support of the Bay Bridge. I only contort myself for so long. I think it was wishing me good night. Didn't really get enough time to react. I'm thirsty. So yeah, the reason I do these acrobatics, not running with my hands on, so I can actually open a bottle while riding. I like my water very cold. So all the cyclist bottles with like a nozzle, don't really fancy it. I can basically do it, but only at high speeds. Last time I tried at low speeds, I had to eject and spill a bunch of water in the process. The scooter rider is just doing whatever. No, there's nobody, but like, come on. Oh no, just following the signs and using the bikeway instead of being safe. Oh well. What can you do? Okay. So I think what I'm gonna do is take 4th Street Well, hello to you too. I gotta put away the bottle, otherwise it's gonna rattle. Oh, still rattles. What else can be rattling here? Oh my god, I was supposed to close this bag. Alright, let's do that. Alright. What else is rattling back there? You look? Okay. And let's see if I can tie it a bit higher. No, it's still something else. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll be on smoother ground. The water's barely disturbed here. It's even quieter on the other side of this bridge. Oops. Gosh. 2 weeks ago I got like a big staple right into my front wheel or something. No, it wasn't a back wheel actually. I think I heard it going, didn't realize what it was. A couple of hours later I tried to take the bike out and the rear tire is just flat. I'm like, what's going on? Didn't hear any explosive decompression. So, alright. You know what, for a change. Well, first I was getting out what I noticed. So to just take the bike back and find an alternative plan to get wherever I was going. And this light is always doing something different. Sometimes it just goes off automatically, but sometimes it doesn't. I don't get why. I talked to one of the technicians who was working on the utility box there, and he said, no, there's never any automated anything here. Alright. And yet it switches. Yeah, anyway, bike tire. So I go back home eventually and then try to operate it. First of all, I'm just completely rusted in bike tire maintenance. And removed the staple before leaving, so I kind of forgot to make a note of where it was, so I could finally try to patch a wheel. And so I'm like, okay, cool, I'll try to find it again. But I'll only do that after removing the wheel, after removing the tires from the spokes, from the rim. And so what happens is the tube, the thing that you inflate, normally it expects to be inflated in a confined space and pushes against that. So you got pressure coming from inside and outside of it. What my sorry ass did was do it outside of that. So, you know, I gave it a few pumps and then I realized, oh, you know, it's quite a bit bigger than it would normally be. And so I'm like, oh, well, maybe I should reconsider. And suddenly, the section of it right next to the valve where I'm pumping from inflates by itself, like it grows bigger. I'm like, that's not good. Better grab my safety glasses. And I go back and I'm like, you know what? This went this far. I might get injured. I should probably step away and let it explode. And surely enough, step away, get just enough time to have second thoughts again. And bam! It just explodes right in my apartment. I was very glad I was not near it. Didn't look too dramatic. But yeah, there ended my ambition to try to fix that specific tube. So yeah, replaced it, got a new one. Fixing that tube will have to come yet another time when I get a puncture. Okay, I thought there was someone behind. Okay. Maybe, oh, for once in my life I don't have to wait at this intersection for like 10 minutes. Okay. We're almost there. Yeah, I like riding at night. It's not that much to come bother you. I'm gonna turn left here rather than go up. Alright, we can try rolling over these things. Yep. I don't know if they're sensors of some sort, or if they are. Maybe they are. Alright, let's see, do I want to be on the right? I think so. Yeah. I think that sensor is built for cars, so that when the car puts its wheels down around it, it compresses the ground enough. We're getting very lucky today, except in the place where I would have expected it. Yeah, ground compresses towards the sensor because, oh, there's a car here. But one means a human on a bicycle. It's not enough to trigger it unless you roll right over it. The problem is, no one tells you that it's there. You have to figure out that these weird black dots are the sensor and roll right over it. When I was in Portland, I had a little decal that they printed for like, hey, this is where you're supposed to go. Felt a little bit more intentional. Alright, as promised, here's the beach. We'll stop over there. Alright. I don't think that's a cruise ship because it's painted gray. Gray usually means military ship. Yeah, it's got red, white, and blue as well. Alright. Okay, we don't need this to be lit up. Yep. Can I see over this? I need to switch to handheld. Let's do that. Sorry, that was my hand. Oop. Okay, we got the sky. Let's now look at the sky. Let's look down there. There we go. Looks upside down to me. Alright. I think that's gonna be it for the night. Well, thanks for watching and listening to me ramble. Let me know what you think. If there's any topics that interest you or streets that you'd like me to go on. I think I have a few ideas, but it's good to hear from what people actually want. Assuming that this recording even went right. But yeah, as promised, I will stop rambling.